Good evening. The doctor says I have diabetes.
Diabetes, and I'm Harry Potter.
And you're watching a video. So I actually really liked the first part of the first episode, the introduction to the TVA and this new world and concept. I like the 80s Art Deco aesthetic.
I
Reminded me of Terry Gilliam, Brazil. It's all analog and papers and printers.
Bureaucratic sort of.
Yeah, all the paperwork and everything. Very Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
They even had a dwarf, which reminded me of Time Bandits by Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it suits the whole TVA thing because they're not in a certain timeline.
It's a government building essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's kind of got that sort of comfy aesthetic.
Yeah, but at the same time, void of any warmth or humanity,
individuality, or
yeah, it's very cold and sterile, and it's all libraries and paperwork and desks and lines, and so I enjoyed that part of the episode.
World building, the sort of world. I enjoyed the world building that they were doing. Right?
Yeah, and the little exposition video they had about all the different timelines and the multiverse wars and the 3 fucking lizard guys.
Yeah. Well, that's deep Marvel lore.
Yeah,
which is what I like, right?
Mm.
That's the sort of getting out into the open, away from Earth, and getting into the sort of nitty gritty. I like obviously the theme is time.
Yes.
Right. I like the all the devices that they've got. Right, the way that they play with time, and they're all very interesting, like the sticks and.
Yeah, I had a note. It was it's like New Who, but not a fever dream of overly convoluted, confusing, nonsensical.
It's got a fairly cohesive track of here's a bunch of rules, world rules, right?
Yeah.
This is the world, this is what's happening, these are the rules, and it's fairly cohesive and straightforward.
Yeah. And because the longer format, this is fucking 1/3 of it is going to be 6 episodes. So basically, I don't know whether it's going to be structured like a movie, but you could kind of consider it to be the first act of a film. Okay. You got the introduction.
Well, it seems like the first 2 episodes seem like the first act or whatever.
Yeah, it's hard to really even say whether it's particularly good or bad yet. It's watching the first half an hour of a movie.
Yeah.
And it's
you've just gotten your premise.
Yeah.
This is the premise of the show. The driving thrust of the show.
It set up the characters and the world and the themes, and now the narrative is beginning. And because of the longer format too, a normal Marvel movie would be done and dusted. We got the big action sequence right now. There are a lot of slower moments.
Mm-hmm.
The first episode, the second part of it, and I think the reason they do this is because, and what it is a character study on Loki.
Well, just the way what they were doing, the way by basically forcing a non-compliant character, right? He's non-compliant and wouldn't listen to anybody say anything ever.
Yeah.
By forcing him into that position, you force him to reflect on what we know his character to be.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's a characterization of his character.
Yeah.
Right? We're fleshing him out basically a lot more.
Yeah. And I think because we're not viewing the main Loki that we watched in all of these films, he's just from Avengers, that they needed to catch him up, and they needed to allow the character to get to that emotional point, because Loki does have a lot of character development over that. You see flashbacks to the first Avengers, and he's ripping people's eyes out, and he's evil, and he comes a long way. But then they're not using that version, so they kind of need to catch this version up on his character development. So yeah, it just really took a surprisingly slow turn to the second half of the first episode. It was just Loki sitting around watching his life, crying about his dead mum, and you're kind of okay,
yeah,
character development.
Well, it's funny because it could have easily been it was a good example of sort of doing that with normally his growth of his character would be through experiencing those events.
Yes.
Like the death of his mother, and then like the one that got killed by Thanos.
Yeah, choked out.
That should have been. That's the full growth character.
Yeah, but
right?
they didn't have that guy.
We can't have that guy. Right.
Yeah, the other guy
So
with zero character development.
Who didn't go? I guess didn't go to the planet in Ragnarok and all that sort of stuff and do all the stuff, right? No, he had no bonding moments with Thor or anything, that sort
none
of
of
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
But he watched it.
We watched it. So
and caught himself up on his own character development.
I wrote.
Therefore, he could be the Loki we know and love.
So the question is the way that they allowed him to experience the same events, is that ham-fisted in the way that they did that?
It seemed very like transparent and deliberate as like the storytelling of it. Like, we need to do this from a narrative standpoint.
We want the Loki that's died.
Yeah, not Avengers 2012.
And we can't resurrect him.
Yeah.
And so
he got the Tesseract. He flew off. That's what we got.
Right.
So episode 1. Especially when you just watch it by itself, because I watched it when it first came out, and it was kind of like, I was like, oh, the world is really cool, love the aesthetics, blah, blah, blah. And then it was just like, yeah, real slow character piece. And I'm like, okay.
I mean, that's fine.
And I guess, it's like a sixth of a movie.
Yeah.
So that's fine. But when you release them individually,
it becomes an issue. Well,
yeah, you can't really view it and analyze it by itself. I guess as a larger piece, theoretically, it would work better.
It all depends what you want out of the show, right? So I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, I know that I want a more considered, as a character, I want a more considered, Loki, right? One that's a bit more considered than what he was and doesn't just constantly backstab people and do this and do that.
Yeah.
He's actually like a character.
Yeah.
Right? And the resistance towards that, like there was that entire segment, right, where they go out on their first mission.
Yeah.
And they're going through, I'm like, oh yeah, this could be really cool if he actually like contributes to this thing and he's doing this thing to provide some insight. And it was just a giant fucking waste of time. And it wasn't a waste of time, like they wanted it. It was a waste of time insofar as the payoff was infuriating. Or annoying.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're doing this thing where fucking Owen Wilson and Loki, Tom Hiddleston, they're playing off of each other, He's trying to use Toki's what tool? He's trying to use Loki as his tool, but now he's got to deal with the god of mischief, who is theoretically mischievous.
Yeah.
On paper.
Well, it's the mischief is basically translated as untrustworthy, right? Completely and utterly fickle and untrustworthy in the way that he acts.
Yeah, well in the films, he's not really mischievous, he's just like evil.
Just like an asshole.
Yeah. And in like northern mythology, he is mischievous at the beginning, and then like he kills one of Odin's sons, and he does take it too far, and by the end everyone's like, Loki, you're a piece of shit. And then he transforms into a giant wolf, and they tie him down, and they like drip just water on his head at the end of time. But that's neither here nor there.
Right, so anyway, right, so I kind of am getting what I want from the character of Loki, kind of.
There was a moment in Pompeii where he jumped on the goat cart and he let the goats open and he's like, you're all gonna die.
And they had the realization with Owen Wilson.
Yeah. And I liked Tom Hiddleston is great. He's oozing charisma. A lot of the time he's standing around reading files or sitting down with fucking Mobius and talking about fucking determinism and free will But those moments where he's jumping on the goat cart and he's being silly. That's kind of what I want more of.
Yeah.
The shenanigans, if you will.
I just don't want the conflict of him being untrustworthy will become tiresome.
Well, he's gone now. He's not with the team.
Well, that's kind of the issue, right?
He's bailed. Presumably, it's doing another thing.
There was never when he comes back or they meet up again or whatever in future episodes.
Yeah.
What I want is a resolution to his character development in respect to Owen Wilson and all that.
Yeah.
That he is trustworthy. Right?
Yeah, presumably they're going to build to some kind of a character.
That's what I want, right? Yeah. Otherwise, it will become extremely tedious to see him. He's doing this thing, but no, he's Loki, so it's completely different.
That is his character, though. He's backstabby. Even with Thor, by Ragnarok, Thor's like, you're gonna fucking betray me. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm gonna betray you. And then he fucking betrays him, but Thor already knows about it, so Thor tricks him, and it's just like that. They just
that's fine. That's his character, and that's fine, right? That's him in respect to all the other characters.
Yeah.
Now this show's about him.
That's fair.
All right, and I want to see,
It's change his mischievous ways.
Just grow as a character.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's basically been exposed as like, man, no one really likes you, and you're kind of just an asshole.
You're a piece of shit.
You're basically like a piece of shit. No one trusts anything you do, and everybody thinks you're silly.
Things you did led to your mother's death.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
Like, that's it. Like that. And he is obviously bothered by that.
Yeah.
Or he should be bothered by it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was bothered by it.
Otherwise, he's just a sociopath, and that's not an exciting character as a main character for a show.
Well, he says all good people aren't all good and all bad people aren't all bad. He is a sociopath. He is a mischievous. He is good. He is kind.
Well, I don't think he is a sociopath. I think he's just.
He was in Avengers. You see that flashback? He's ripping someone's eye out. He's like,
I know. But then yeah, I don't know.
He went on the arc.
But
we're not with that. Like, but he watched his arc.
But that's what we've done, right? Is we're trying to get back to a Loki that's had an arc like that, a Revelations arc. Right, he's realised, hey, I can be more of a person rather than just a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Right?
There was a big fan uprising of all the fucking basement dwelling neckbeards as well. So yeah, from a narrative standpoint, what they're trying to do with the Infinity Stones laying around is they're trying to build the TVA up as significant. There's a scene where Loki pulls open the drawer and like, the Infinity Stones don't work here, there is no power.
Yeah, they've seized them or whatever, right?
Yeah, they're just trying to build up the TVA as significant.
They're outside of time. They're outside of time and space.
Loki has to go along with this.
Yeah.
He can't fucking get his way out. But then, the writer of this, who has no other real credits, he's just kind of done this show, and he's doing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Yeah, he fucking, he said something about the TVA and the significance of it and all that Infinity Stone stuff being bullshit, and everyone was like, grrr. And it does seem odd to me that there's just all these Infinity Stones lying around. Like, I assumed there was only ever 5.
But the idea, well, that's like saying that there's only ever one Loki, right? Right. So from what I got from it was that
they're from other multiverses, other
timelines. That they've had to shut
variants.
down. That they've had to shut down, and they ended up with the stones in one way or another.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that's just trying to be like, hey, the TVA is of significance.
Yeah.
But then he said everything was bullshit, and everyone was like, oh, this is like Star Wars.
What does he mean? Everything is bullshit. Like nothing from the mainline series matters.
He just said, I don't know. I'll cut the clip in here if I can find it.
There's 10 years of history that have come before this and everything. There's so much weight and everything on stuff like the Infinity Stones and everything. And what I thought and what our writing team really got excited about was, all right, how can we say that stuff is basically just bullshit compared to what the TVA does?
But he said the words bullshit, and then people got angry. It's just drama.
Yeah, it's
pointless drama.
I don't care. I don't care. There we go.
That's fair.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that's effective. Like, I understand the significance of the Infinity Stones or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. I understand the significance of them. The idea is that the TVA is dealing with something that's on such a much larger scope to whatever was happening in the actual universe itself.
The whole Infinity War is merely a tiny aspect of the sacred timeline.
It's literally nothing.
Yeah.
It's literally nothing. That's kind of the point, right? The TVA wraps around, if you imagine, like, the universe is a thing, it wraps around that, right, and deals with all the errant timelines that spring out of it.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
But then the guy said that all these movies are bullshit, and people were like, "Argh." But when you watch the show, it's like, from a narrative standpoint, clearly he's trying to make the TVA significant and say this is merely a drop.
Yeah.
But people got angry, Steve.
I don't fucking care. So anyway, that's, I don't have an issue with it.
That's fair.
Okay.
Do you know Owen Wilson tried to commit suicide?
Why?
He was sad.
When?
A few years ago. That endears me more to him. He's human.
I like Owen Wilson.
Yeah, well, he was in like a lot of douchey movies when I was in high school and stuff.
Shanghai Nights and fucking...
I mean, I like them.
I
haven't watched them in a decade and a half.
I would be able to watch it and get some enjoyment out of it
It's
now.
schlock.
Out of nostalgia.
It's Jackie Chan doing flips.
I'm trying to think what else has he been in.
Well, I just fucking went through a massive Wes Anderson thing. I showed you fucking Steve Zissou and The Life Aquatic. And
oh yeah, he was in that, which I enjoyed. Yeah,
and he's in all of Wes Anderson's films. The Royal Tenenbaums and the Dalajee Limited and...
Yeah, for some reason...
I like him in the Wes Anderson things. And I like him in this. He's charismatic.
For some reason, I like his acting. I don't know that I've seen that many films with him in it, and I'm glad to see him in this one.
Yeah.
He does a good role, and I enjoy watching him.
Yeah, and him and Loki playing off each other. It works well.
I think it's a good mix, yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to one-up each other and assert dominance. So yeah, basically, episode 2 opens with the revelation that Loki's hiding in apocalypses, which I like that. That's interesting.
Well, that to me, I count as a win, right?
Yeah,
the two characters made progress as a team.
Yeah.
And Tom and Loki's fucking place within his new life. That
like it become like an investigational, like kind of a
buddy cop.
Yeah,
buddy cop shit.
yeah.
That's I'm happy to see buddy time cops with Owen Wilson and Loki.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see.
They had a theory. They tested it. It worked. It made sense as much as it needed to make sense. They got the bubble gum. They cross-references apocalypses with where the bubble gum would have turned up. That all makes sense. That was all set up. And then it's 2050 Alabama. A cyclone is coming. And so this Loki has been just fucking murdering all these TVA people and taking all their like time bombs, which reset everything. And with ease. And I mean, I guess that's fine. They're building up this person,
this Loki
of significance, But the TVA was never really highly concerned with the amount of murder. They were just worried about the sacred timeline. But I guess that goes with the bureaucracy thing, you know.
Yeah. The endless resources, the endless nameless resources, right?
Yeah, I mean, you do see it in as like a thriving fucking futuristic metropolis. Looks like the Jetsons.
Yeah, it does look like the Jetsons.
What like 1950s thought the future would be, which I like. Yeah. And then, we get the reveal of female Loki, and it's kind of hard to comment on anything, because we get, like, 2 shots of her.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're talking, they already established that we're doing the multi-timeline, thing.
Yeah, so there can be infinite amounts of variants of Loki.
Yeah, so...
And I mean, the next episode, they're going to interact, and I look forward to seeing how they play off each other, and how she is as an actress, and how the character is.
What I want to see... Right, and it's still the same thing that I was saying before, right, is that he's gone, he went through the thing to chase after her, right?
Correct. Which I like.
Yeah, that's fine, right?
I think that's more interesting than him staying with the TVA.
And being interrogated on the events. And
now, something's happened.
Right, so he's going to go do that, and he either wins or fails, but, so I don't expect his adventure through the door when he comes back. I don't expect that he has... got rid of her, right? I would expect some measure of success. Whether he knows where she's going to be or what she's going to do, or he's foiled some plan of hers or whatever. Yeah. And then he comes back with a success, and that solidifies his role as not, still not completely trustworthy. Yeah. But like they can rely on our team member Loki. With Wilson.
I think it's gone past that point completely, and he can't even go back. Like, the whole timeline is fractured, and it's chaos now. We're entering into, like, the main conflict of the narrative. Like, the second act's about to happen, and it's about to get crazy, and, like, the TVA is not going to go back to, oh, Loki, read your files, you little bad boy. It's got to be, like, hectic. Like, shit's going down now. You see it all splinter, and everyone's freaking out.
But what I'm imagining is that's setting up the future adventures of trying to repair the timelines. Yeah. The buddy cop adventures, right? Because that's what I originally thought the series was going to be like. So my assumption is this Loki, right, the bad Loki, is either going to be the main villain through the entire thing, right? Or is going to be the precipitator for the actual premise of the show, which is buddy cops go through time and have hijinks,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's going to be,
You need to stop smoking.
I was drinking water. You're smoking and you're fine. I'm drinking water and I'm dying. Yeah, like, we both love that episodic television, SG-1, Next Gen, where it's like, the adventure of the week! Doctor Who as well, and yeah. I think, it's just gonna build some big fucking battle, and Loki's gonna go back to the TVA at some point, and it's still gonna be chaotic, and it's gonna build and escalate to, like, this highest crescendo of fucking drama and apocalypse and destruction, and then they're gonna defeat her, and it's gonna roll credits.
And that's going to be it. You think it's going to be, what, a 1 or 2 season go?
Yeah, I think they are talking about a second season, which seems weird.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's, that's not what my expectations were.
Yeah, not from the trailer, certainly, or the first 2 episodes. Yeah, it's hard to tell, like, to analyze these as, like, 2 separate episodes, or, like, just, like, the first act of the film.
It's an establishment of premise, right, which it fits. You could still have a relatively episodic thing by modern standards,
You could.
right? But this fits in that instance, you could still have like a chain of episodes that initialize the premise of the main show. Right?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would be down for an episodic fucking adventure of the week style.
It doesn't even have to necessarily be where each episode is in of itself isolated from everything else, right? That it's episodic insofar as they're making progress towards something, right? But the progress, the things that, here's the progress, the things that they jump out of the main thing to do to forward the progress are themselves like little adventures that they go and do, right? That ultimately resolve in...
Yeah, a lot further narrative.
Yeah, further narrative.
Fixing this fucking disaster.
Which is what I would consider a more modern format for a show.
Yeah.
Like this, but an adventure show.
Yeah. So basically, in conclusion, after 2 hours, it's hard to tell.
You don't really know
what it is, what's going on. Is it particularly bad? Is it particularly good? It has some good stuff.
Yeah,
it could be good. It could be bad. I don't know.
I think it could easily be extremely irritating depending on what you want, right? Or it could be really great depending on what you want.
Yeah.
But we don't know because the first 2 episodes are fucking
a setup
for whatever's to come. It's
so many great movies are done and dusted in an hour and 40. We're 2 hours in and we're like, good, bad.
Yeah, I mean,
there is stuff there I like. I like Owen Wilson. I like Tom Hiddleston. I like the Loki character. I like the idea of the TVA.
Yeah.
The
payoff
where they go with it is...
The payoff, right, and, it could be an extended payoff across episodes, is going to be the thing that justifies an hour and 40 minutes of setup.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right? And if it doesn't, which it couldn't, you don't know, right? Then fucking it's a shit show. Right?
We will see.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, it was like, hey, I'm interested, I'm invested, and I'm invested to see what happens, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, give it the benefit of the doubt. There are enough elements to make me watch it.
What were people complaining about? I've seen bits and bobs of people going, oh, this is not a very good show.
There's this trend with people where they just hate shit. It's like anything. Like Rogan. People all of a sudden just be like, Rogan is fucking terrible. No, Star Wars shit the bed. That's not gonna count. But yeah, like there's this outrage culture now where people, they like getting angry at stuff. They like not liking stuff. Like Midnight's Edge. Midnight's Edge doesn't want Loki to be good. It doesn't want anything to be good.
It feeds off the drama.
Yeah. It never goes this... It never sits down and goes, Citizen Kane was a brilliant piece of art. The camera technology for the time was revolutionary. The way they built dollies and pan was the first time it ever happened. It never does that. It goes, this is garbage. Everyone hates it. It's SJW schlock. It's all politically motivated. We're not reviewing the show in itself. We're reviewing the outside, like, politics.
The things that surround the show, yeah.
There's a female Loki. That's SJW fucking
There's
bullshit.
not actually people saying that, is there?
Of course there is. It's an outrage culture.
Like, normally...
People, they enjoy being angry. They go after things that haven't changed in quality because they enjoy it.
I enjoy being angry at things like that.
Yeah.
When it's legitimate.
You need to objectively review the media, though.
Yeah. It's like none of this, that never crossed my mind that there was a deliberate insert for a specific purpose rather than just being, it's female Loki. We could cut, they've got 3 choices, right? You can have just Tom Hiddleston again, right?
Yeah.
You can have female Loki, which is just going to be the female version of Loki, right? Or you could have like an alien.
Yeah.
They're your 3 choices.
Yeah.
People are probably going to relate more to this, and it's more interesting than just having Tom Hiddleston again.
Yeah. So I mean, people are just angry.
And it's probably cheaper. It's probably cheaper than to have him act twice for 2 characters, right?
Yeah, presumably. Or an alien.
Or an alien, right? So yeah.
And female Loki does happen in the comics, although apparently the comics become SJW.
Well, they do, but
they've always kind of fucking mixed up who plays who and what's
it's
happening.
all varying degrees. There are some that are just like, take it way too far, and it's basically transparent.
Yeah.
Then there's things that genuinely just do something, and people go, oh, well, that's the same as this, and it's not the same as this, you know?
So fuck the outside influences. Fuck people being
watch
angry.
The show. Just watch the show. I mean, if they have come out and said we're doing this for this reason, or it's like super transparent, why this thing in this show exists.
Ghostbusters with fucking Paul Feig saying that men are fucking pieces of shit and all that stuff.
This is women power movie. If that happens,
Bill Murray is a misogynist.
If that happens, go to your heart's content, right? If that's not happening...
Yeah, from sitting down and watching the show, it seems like a show to me.
Yeah, it just seems like a show.
But they need more fuel for the outrage machine.
What needs to happen is in the further interactions that we have with female Loki, she like drops lines where she's like, I'm better because I'm a woman. Women are far superior to...
Did you know statistically men get raped more than women?
I'm not having this discussion with you.
It's true, Steve.
Okay.
All the rape statistics, they just get the prison statistics and they just don't worry.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Statistically men get raped way more than women, but it's by men.
In prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Men rape men rape women, men rape animals, men rape.
Well, maybe men should be taught not to be rapists.
Nah, it's in your DNA, Steve. Alright, we'll see you for...
They're gonna cancel your show now.
Delete my fucking 300 subscribers.
They're gonna
No, I always talk about rape. There's nothing wrong with talking about rape.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing
the
wrong
whole, choking a woman thing? That comes from, generations and generations of procreation being through rape.
Well, yeah, fucking Neanderthals and stuff. Yeah, we had, a huge history of fucking...
Yeah, procreation was like rape. So, through fucking hundreds of... How long have we been here? 30... humans.
100,000 years.
Through 100,000 years of fucking breeding that way, there's a mechanism within the mind. I was like, choking.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with talking about rape. It's an element which exists within the world, Steve. You're so shy.
No, that's fine. Yeah, just as long as you don't say the wrong thing about rape.
I mean, no one's gonna watch this.
One day, someone's gonna watch it. And they're going to cancel you on Twitter.
Well, if they cancel me on Twitter, that means I would have something to be cancelled. So
that's true.
In that circumstance, I had achieved something.
That's a problem you want to have, you reckon?
Yeah, having my fucking YouTube media be taken away. My YouTube empire. Because at the moment, it's not a YouTube empire.
It depends how you define empire.
Thank you! We'll see you for Act 2.
Act 2. Well, the 3rd episode's come out now, right?
No.